This is the proposed location for the depot that you've seen earlier here. We're going to have this bulldozed out down to the X sign, leveled off, and the depot will be put on the southeast side of the railroad tracks. The way in this area is 100 feet wide, with about 6 foot out of the very middle of it for the tracks. That leaves something like about 45 feet on each side of the track for us to put the building on one side and make a possible parking lot on the other side. One time there was a siding in here, and there also was a crossing down there of the interurban line that went out to West Mineral. In this immediate area is where the depot will be located. As soon as we can get this leveled off and possibly the depot moved to the spot. The depot will be located somewhere between the X sign you see in the distance back towards the blacktop. As I pull back a little bit here, there's ample room in here for this. There is a row of trees along the southeast side of the track there, which possibly can be made into a park area. Track that runs from Pittsburgh to Chautauqua and on to Coffeyville. Now there's excellent viewing of the train coming from both directions here for rail fans who like to watch trains go by. So plenty of room here on the northwest side of the track for a parking area. And there's hope someday we'll see a passenger train come down here and take people to Brutus by bus from here and bring them back and load back into Pittsburgh. The present date of this picture session was taken on 10/4/1995 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopefully by summer we'll see some progress on this project, and maybe we'll be running trains or motor cars out of this area in the future. That some of these days maybe things will progress to the point that this most popular 1930 hotspot in this part of the country, at Carona, Kansas, the Gay Farida, which was a nightclub in the early days and very, very popular for people in this part of the country. There may come a day when we see this again, having dances and possibly meals served for train rides out to this area for a party and back. I hope so. The depot now sits back on the road between Scammon and West Mineral at Carona, Kansas. The move will only be about a half a mile from the point it's setting at now to the railroad track. It will be restored and hopefully reused. This is a work train laying ties along the right-of-way between, or just south of Carona. That's a pretty neat operation there.
Yeah, it's a lot better than shoving them on. And look at those ties. They're all brand new. That's the closest you'll get to an all SEK train, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Here comes the bulldozer. This is the bulldozer that's going to level us off, make us a nice smooth spot for the depot. Superintendent that's going to take care of this job. Well, we're trying to back this thing in where we can get this bulldozer unloaded. There goes the bulldozer pushing down the first tree. And there we started, and we'll give you a view as we go along. Now we're giving instructions here how to do and how to cut them out. Here comes the work train that's This is what the area now looks like that the bulldozer cleaned out along the tracks south of Carona. Going up area here, the bulldozer took out all the weeds and all the dead trees, and the location for the depot is down in this area near the X sign. These were taken out in this area in order to give a more viewable spot of the depot. Tentatively, it's scheduled to be replaced right in this area where this shade tree is now throwing a shadow over the spot. In this area where you see the flags will be the location of the depot when we get it moved back down to this area. We still have ample room looking towards Pittsburgh and the X sign. Location you can see about 3 or 4 miles down the track. Quite a little hill down there in the distance as we go towards Highway 7 and Cherokee. Some of the trees that looked like they were good prospects for future growth. Here's one oak. Here will make shade temporarily. Hopefully it won't die, but if it does, we'll have a start maybe of some other tree in the meantime. This should make a nice shady area down in here for location of the depot. Intent of the Heart of the Heartland volunteers to restore this area and place the depot here for future use as a point for Heartland motor cars to possibly begin trips towards Chatopa and back towards Pittsburgh, and maybe train rides from Pittsburgh to Brutus, with the bus catching people here and taking them out to Brutus and bringing them back for the ride back to Pittsburgh. And we've got a long ways to go, but at least we've made a start. Shot of the depot at its present location, which is about a quarter of a mile north of the ground that's been cleared off, and will be brought out to this road and taken south to the tracks and back then to the location. It's down this road to the railroad tracks, about a quarter of a mile. And since we last took a picture here, today is November the 12th, 1995. Here's Ford for the depot. This is the one furthest west. This is the next two as we head northeast. This is the last one towards the northeast. We'll be setting in this location. Down towards the depot site. We're going to have a lot of room here. It didn't look like it to start with, but it will be now. Move in down towards the depot site. And the X sign. Railroad has done a lot of track work along here since the last pictures were taken. Mover, Johnny Womack, has arrived, and looks like the sun's going to come out, and we may get going here just shortly. Looks like the rotten fell out of the end there as we got ready to turn. Some of the old stuff out from underneath it. It's jacked up. Now when they took the footage out, the east side dropped down a little bit. I hope it don't break in two. Now here's John to supervise this job, see if we get this thing going. Jacking it up, getting ready to run the truck underneath it. This is the truck frame that's going to slide under the building, and then we'll see what happens from there. the east end squared away. We'll jack it up the back now where we can put the wheels back under it again.
Let's start.
Talking to the KSN TV man. He's the only one who showed up to take any movies of this. Crowd moving to this depot.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you go ahead and say a couple of words for me? Okay. Man, that was nasty. Okay, if you can go ahead and say.
John Spawn, president of the
Putting the wheels on the rear end of the truck. Gonna be ready to take her out of here shortly. They had to pull these old blocks out from underneath this depot. They were all cemented together. Go with the first move. Pulling her out of the old location. Moving her south. Sitting in the yard, ready to pull out of the old location. And we're moving on out now to get back on the highway. Back her up where you get straight headed out the driveway. out on the highway. Plenty of room going down through there. Sitting at the railroad crossing. There we are, sitting at the track. The depot moving into its location. We'll make another pass out of here. Part getting her in here.
Come on. Now back, Mark. You drop that shallow. Go ahead and bring it back.
It's a few feet from where it goes.
Foot and a half in the back.
Getting close. Back up just a hair.
Like that. Oh, just like that.
Depot sitting along the railroad tracks, not off the truck yet, but very close to being there. Location alongside the railroad tracks. This depot will be restored and look like a new one. Maybe 6 months to a year before we're done with it.
Perryville, Kansas, and their newest project is renovating this turn-of-the-century train depot.
Some say the cinders are in the blood, and others, there's no real explanation for it. Just some of us never got over the being like of trains from a kid.
The train doesn't stop here anymore, but this 100-year-old depot is having new life breathed into it by a group of train enthusiasts. The depot now sits 50 yards from its original site, but 35 years ago it was in danger of destruction. That's when a local family bought it to keep the railroad from destroying it. And now, a generation later, that same family is giving it back.
And he thought about it, and he just thought it would be a real nice thing to donate it to the club in the memory of his parents.
Club members say the depot is only one of 3 remaining in the southeast Kansas area, and that this one is in the best condition.
Except for some surface problems, mainly some small problems with some of the siding on the